Alright, what's going on, guys? So, a lot of y'all have been commenting and asking about my putting. Honestly, probably because I've been talking about my putting a lot more. Now, I can say that in my most recent tournament, in the first round, I putted really well, but my tee shots weren't as accurate or as on point in some scenarios. I got a couple bogeys that made me not play too well. And then the next round, my shots were on, but my putts were so off, and it was so incredibly frustrating. So I got 6th in my tournament. I only shot 2 down, and the person in first only shot 6 down. But me shooting 2 down after 2 rounds was still like a 950 rated round or something like that. So it was above my thing. But it was frustrating because I knew that I was better than that. I knew that my putting was better. So now I'm going to speak from experience of just putting and what has worked for me and what has made me a lot better. So there's a couple of things that have really helped me out with putting that I've talked about in past videos. Obviously, one of the most important things is your disc. You need something that's going to feel good in your hand. For me, I like putting with the keystone, but I also like throwing the keystone. And so just that consistency of feel and confidence is really important to me. I used to putt with judges, and then I putted with guards, but now I've settled on the keystone, and I really like these things. They're a little bit understable for me, so I really like that. Next, your comfortable stance is important. Obviously, there's a lot of people who stand differently. Some people who lean more towards the basket, some people who stand more up, some people who do a straight facing stance like this, some people do a staggered stance, like you'll see Ricky bring it back here, and then obviously you have people like KJ and old school Nico who used to just putt like this. And so your stance is super important for you as well. And like just comfortability is hands down the most important thing when it comes to just disc golf in general, in my opinion. You have to be comfortable when you're doing stuff because comfort equals confidence. At least for me, that's the case. So being comfortable, being confident is huge. And then the next thing that has helped me out a lot is figuring out where my miss is. Like, where do I often miss putts? For a long time, I was missing low. I was hitting the cage all the time. And so my goal was to commit more to my putts so that I didn't hit the cage anymore. If I hit the band, I was still upset, but I was happy with it because that meant that I committed. And I also missed right. Most of the time when I would putt, I would miss to the right side. So for me, I aim at the left side of the basket. I aim at the second chain in, knowing that when I pull my hand up and turn, the disc is going to go a little bit to the right. And that's the thing, like I shouldn't adjust my putt so that I can stare at the middle of the basket. Like there's no rule that you have to look directly at the middle of the basket in order to be a good putter or whatever. It's all about getting it in there. And one thing that Paul Uliberry shared with me whenever I was playing with him before the season started was that for him, he just goes through the motions of putting. He's not trying to make it in the basket. So mentally, he's not thinking, okay, I have to make this in the basket. Mentally, he's thinking, okay, I need to finish my putt. I need to get from point A to point B, and then if I do that correctly, as I know, I will make it in the basket. Because if you can do your form correctly, you can make the putt from probably 10 to 30 feet if you go through the same motion, just because of the way that you can glide or the amount of speed that you give, etc. And then once you get out of the circle, you'll probably change some things. But it's important to go through that motion. And then next, for me, something that has helped me the most, this is the thing that I've changed recently that has helped me so much, and it's my breathing. You guys will hear that, especially now that I have a lav mic on. Whenever I putt, I slow down and I focus on what I'm doing, and I take a deep breath in, I get ready, and then when I putt, I exhale slowly. I've realized that if I exhale quickly, like a or whatever, then it makes me go through my motion faster. Like my brain is connecting my breathing with my motion. And so for me, it's more of a, like just a nice, calm putt and throw. So I'll go ahead and putt a couple here. I haven't even warmed up. So back here, this is about 33 feet right here. But I'm probably just gonna go from, I don't know, 20, 25, somewhere around here. And again, it's all about, for me, it's getting stable, kind of lowering my back leg, my back knee here, getting it down. and then taking that inhale, and I breathe in like, and then release. So from back here at Circle's Edge, about 33 feet, this is where it really comes into play that you have to go through your motions. You have to do what you're going to do, especially when you're practicing. You have to do the same thing when you're practicing as you would out on the field. So I hold 2 discs and I'll sit down on this left leg and really try and pop it in there. There's one, and then again. There's another one. So now that I'm wearing this mic and you guys can hear me, you'll hear the consistency with my breathing as well, because it's not just, at least for me, like breathing is a commitment thing for me. You'll see Kevin Jones do that as well. When he gets really deep, it's always a, he was an athlete, he played football. I was a pitcher in high school, and I was going to play in college, but I hurt myself, and breathing was very important there as well, like exhaling when you throw. And I never really did that with disc golf too much because I was worried about what people would think about me. I thought that it was like, yo, that guy's 10 feet away, why is he exhaling like that? And it's like, doesn't matter, I made it in the freaking basket. And so it's important for you to find the things, and breathing out loud like that might not be for you. Like you don't see a lot of pros doing that. But for me, it's been so incredibly helpful, just as almost like a mental pacer for me. So like I said, when I go and I get a nice slow breath out, mentally that helps me pace my putt so that I'm not going through the motions too quickly or anything like that. And then another thing, like I said, that's been really good for me is sitting down on my back left knee. And I don't even have the best left knee. Sometimes I wear a brace on it. But sitting down on my back left knee, so that when I putt, I stand up and I use my legs to also help me get there. Because that's the same with pitching in baseball. You use your legs to push off and get that motion moving forward with your arm as well. That's how you get the most speed. And so for putting, if you find yourself coming up a little bit short, try and sit down a little bit more. If you find yourself a little further back from the basket, again, try and sit down a little bit more, and then just really focus on your breathing. Hit the band. Still made it in though. Oh, that one didn't feel good. Something felt off on that one. But for me, I'm telling you guys, and honestly, I haven't been out here and practiced putting in a while. I've been busier with other work and stuff, so I haven't been practicing as much. But the consistency of that breathing has been so huge for me. So short. Oh, looked like it was gonna be short. I think the reason it was shorter there was because if you heard the difference in my breathing, I exhaled a little bit quicker. So sometimes, like I said, I'll go, and that isn't what I want. I want it to be more of a really calm. I did the exact same thing. Even still exhaling after the disc is already in the basket. And it might look weird, it might sound weird, but I'm telling you guys, it has made all the difference in the world to me, going through those motions and breathing like that. So if you find yourself struggling at putting, and you just want to try something new, try breathing. It helps you slow down, it helps you not get stressed. I take that nice deep breath in, I hold it, and then as I release, my body goes through the motions mentally. I'm used to that, and it helps me, it has helped me be so much more confident in putting. If you guys haven't watched my round at Kilbourne where I shot 11 down and almost shot 14 down, my putting was absolutely on fire that round, and my breathing was on point. So work on your breathing, work on those consistent things. So the things that I would say to check if you want to work on your putting is that your putter is comfortable in your hands, that your stance is comfortable, you're directed at the basket, that's where your kind of body moves in that direction towards the basket, that you breathe and focus on that, and find where your miss is. So again, with all of those putts, I was aiming at the second chain in from the left. That's my spot. That's where I feel comfortable. And when I hit it, I almost always hit it in the middle, and sometimes I still miss right. If I'm actually further away from the basket, like about 45 feet, I'll aim to the left of the basket, knowing, especially with an understable disc like this, that when I bring it and I pop it up, there's a chance that it could go to the right just a little bit. So yeah, those are my newest tips, guys, for putting. Comment down below your tips for putting, things that have helped you, because again, everyone has a different stance, everyone has a different style, and this is just what's been working for me lately. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.